Hi, this is Sarah Mikesell with 5M, and today we're here with Gary Letterly, and he works with the University of Illinois Extension. So, Gary, we're standing next to something I have never seen before. The sign here, as you have talked about, is tropical maize.
Tropical maize.
What is it? What do you do with it? How do you grow it?
Well, it's corn. It's corn as farmers around here would know it. But it's a little different selection here. This is a temperate variety that corn breeders at U of I have been working with and looking at the different traits that it has. One thing it has is, you can see it's a very big plant. It's kind of being fooled by our Illinois weather, our day length or night length, because it's typically one that you would find maybe around the equator. So if you've got 12 hours of day, 12 hours of night, you move it into an area where you've got a combination of more heat units and actually longer day length, then it's going to continue to grow a little longer in the vegetative state. And that's what we're seeing here. It gets taller. The silks are maybe about to emerge. I think they're going to be delayed a bit, but the tassel is right at the top of the plant. It just hasn't unfurled out of the top to the plant. But
so
it's
this
getting
isn't
closer.
To full height yet.
It's
really
not. I would expect this with the tassel on it to maybe be another 2.5, maybe even 3 feet taller.
Okay.
So it, as Dr. Fred Below, one of the researchers on this, would say, if corn is king, tropical maize is the emperor. So I like hearing that too.
Yeah.
I've worked with Mike Vincent, who is a crop physiologist on campus, and Wendy White as researchers to look at this crop, and currently working with Dr. Laura Gentry, and we're looking at the multiple uses of this crop. Number one, you probably wouldn't plant this for grain, not around here. The time by which it would mature would be pretty risky to hope that this would reach full maturity and harvesting as a grain crop. Although we've seen it do that. If we planted early enough, we've been able to get enough heat units and enough length of growing season to have a harvestable crop. And we've had droughts like others in the Midwest have had, and last year actually it performed quite well. We did it as a demo. We got some really good yields out of it. But we're looking at, or the researchers are looking at, the total biomass and the partitioning of this crop, to where most of the partitioning of the biomass is in the stover, the plant itself, as opposed to the segregation of the grain.
It's the stalk.
The stalk and the leaf and the midrib, but the stalk certainly. The stalk's very interesting. This plant has some interesting sugar characteristics. There's some reason to believe that there may be higher value in that sugar content of this. We've been told it rivals sugarcane sugar content at certain stages, but that's maybe a little bit fleeting, so it's an issue of timeliness of harvest. We've seen it, the potential as being managed as a animal feed crop. Manage it maybe somewhat like you would do following wheat with maybe a sorghum Sudan or a Sudex. And our trials last year, just the demo trials, actually showed that we had really had less of a nitrate concern, which we did see as a problem, and that's a problem in feeding livestock. It can poison them, it can hurt their blood system, and it can cause death. But the consumption of high nitrate laden crop. The tropical maize, as was managed as a forage crop, actually came in and looked very favorable against Sudex.
Okay, very good. So it can be used as cut as silage, essentially?
It could be used similar to silage. It could be the potential of harvesting maybe for its sugar content. The partitioning of it, if you manage it for grain, you could probably do that in certain areas if it's a longer season. And then last but not least, we can harvest this to burn it. That's current biomass use technology, combustion, or gasify it. But ideally, we would see this being used as a crop, much like the miscanthus, much like the switchgrasses that the universities are working with, to use it as a convertible biofuel through the technologies as they emerge.
Very good. Well, thanks so much for your time today, Gary. Appreciate it. This is Sarah Mikesell for 5M.